Hey everyone, it's Colette and I'm back to show you how you can create your own drop-down rubric in Google Sheets just like this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my Google Drive and I'm just in a folder that I'm using for a presentation that I am doing that's coming up next week, and I am going to create a new Google Sheet. So just right click Google Sheets and it'll open up a new one for you, or you could go to sheets.google.com and go from there. So the first thing that I always do, and I try and train my kiddos to do, is to give it a title. So we're going to recreate the dance rubric for grade 4. So the first thing that I did for this dance rubric was I grabbed all of my criteria and I broke it down into the rubrics. So for you, all that is, it might just be a copy and paste from a Word document. I love co-constructing my criteria with my students. So if this was a big dance project or group project or research assignment, what I would do is I would have the outcomes from the curriculum right here, and then my students and I would go through each of these together and figure out what wow looks like, yes, getting there, and not yet. But for this, in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to copy my rubric, and I'm just going to paste it in here for time's sake. So I've got it pasted in. The formatting does look a little funny. If in Google Sheets you want to make your columns wider, what I suggest you do is highlight them, right click, and resize. Generally, I like a column that's 150 or 200. In this case, 150 is perfect. Throughout this video, I'm going to be giving you a couple little tips and tricks. One of them I love to do is to hide columns that I don't need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the F column. I'm going to scroll all the way over to Z, and then on my keyboard I'm going to hit Command Shift, and then I'm going to click on the letter Z. And what that does is highlight all of them. I'm going to left click on my mouse, and then I'm going to hide my columns. I love doing this, especially for the bottom one, because I find it so long and I just don't like it. I like a very clean workspace in terms of my rubric. So again, that's Command or Control Shift click, right click, hide rows. So that's my first page down. I'll give this one a title, perhaps rubric. And then what I'll do is down here at the bottom where it says add sheet, I'm going to add another page on. And what this does is it's still in the same file, but now I've got just 2 separate pages. And this is where I want to have my students' names and the criteria. So just like this one where I've got my drop-down menus, that's what we're going to be creating here. So I am just going to go back to our rubric. I'll have my students' names here, and then I'm just going to have criteria 1. And then a little trick that you can do is you can highlight your cell and then pull it across, and it will go criteria 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it'll auto-calculate that for you. All right. So, oh, shoot. So then what we're going to do, sorry about that, is we are going to build our drop-down menu. So under criteria 1 in cell B2, what you're going to want to do is you're going to click on it, and then you're going to click on data. And then you're going to go to data validation. When you go to data validation, what that's going to do is allow you to create that drop-down menu. So you'll see right here we've got cell range, sheet 2, B2, list from range, and here we have a bunch of options. So if you just wanted a number, you could choose between 1 and 10. And then when you do that, we click Save. And so then here, oh, it's not showing up. If I went 12, it would tell me that it's invalid. But that is not what we want. We want to create one that has our criteria for our rubric. So again, I'll go back to data validation, and my window will come up. Instead, what I want to do is list of items. So here, what I have to do is enter the list of items separated by a comma. So this is when I like to have two tabs open so I can pull my list of criteria from one, and place it right in the box. So I would go 4 dash, I would have a 4 and then dash incorporates several basic movements in a pleasing dance sequence. And then I would have to put a comma, and then I would have my next category, copy it. So for me, when I copy, I just go Control C. I love shortcuts on my keyboard, and to paste, it's Control V. Then I would go to, I would grab the criteria, Control V to paste, and then finally my 1, I would grab my criteria, Control C to copy, Control V to paste. Now, I want to show the drop-down list in the cell, and then I'm going to click Save. So now when I click Save, you'll notice that this little gray arrow has opened, or not has opened, but has shown up. And when I click on that, all of my criteria is going to be there. Now, just like I did before when I grabbed the criteria and I pulled it over, you don't have to go in and enter the data validation for every single cell. All you need to do is select your cell, grab the corner, and you'll get this little X icon, and you just pull, you click and pull down. When you pull down with your mouse, it's going to fill each cell that you put that in. So now I can click on any cell and choose the criteria that I want, which is awesome. So again, I use this for observational checklists, for if I'm observing something like a group discussion or a presentation. I love having this in front of me on the iPad because I can be clicking and then adding comments in on the side. When it's a group presentation, I'll create the rubric, and then I'll make the tabs at the bottom. I'll make a sheet for each individual group, and then that way I will label them with their group name, and then I have a dedicated space for my feedback and assessment for each student. So again, if you have any questions about this, let me know. Feel free to send me an email, ask me anything, and I will help you the best that I can. Thanks for watching.